Hi, my name is Scott from allwinemaking.com. Welcome to my website and or my blog. I just wanted to show you a very nifty and ingenious way of degassing your wine that I recently found out about at one of the local wine shops that I frequent to get my winemaking supplies. Now, typically what happens is that you will do your degassing with a Physics, so you attach it to the end of your bill or drill, and you would spin it around and it would degas that way. That's usually a labor-saving way of doing it. The other way that you can do it is traditionally you'd use your spoon. Now, if you've ever done degassing for stirring vigorously for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, an hour, whatever the directions tell you to do it, you know that using the spoon is not the best way to do it. Certainly very time-consuming as well as labor-intensive. Now, the problem with these kind of ways of doing it is that it's very momentary. So you only basically benefit from the amount of time that you spend to degas your wine right away. So one thing a guy showed me is an ingenious way of doing it using the laws of physics. And I just want to show you basically what it entails. It entails taking a 7.5 bung, which is a bit larger than the bungs you typically see with your airlocks for your secondary, and then you also take one of these pumps that you usually use for taking the gas air out of the wine bottles. So if you finish or have a half-finished bottle of wine and you want to keep it, you stick one of these on top of the head. In fact, I can show you with the wine bottle. Here's just an empty wine bottle that we're getting ready to use for one of our wines, but you typically stick it on here, stick your pump on it, you give it a few pumps, you suck out all the air, and basically it's a way of preserving your wine. And then when you're ready to use it, you just pull a tab, you can hear the gas escaping, and then you can go ahead and drink your wine. Well, why not use the same principle and use it for your wine? So basically, very simple setup, costs you less than 20 bucks. You take it, and here we've got it marked to about 1/8 of an inch. You can see you basically combine one on the other so that there's about 1/8 of an inch around. Just play with it to make sure that it fits snugly together. And this is what you're going to stick on top of your carboy right here. You're going to pump it 12 to 20 times. It's going to be a 2-day process. The first day you're going to pump it. You're going to take all the air out. You're going to notice that a whole bunch of bubbles will be coming up. Now there'll be two sizes of bubbles. One will be a little small bubbles. That'll be your sulfur dioxide that you'll be able to pull out. At the end of the first day you can pump it again 12 to 20 times until it feels a little stiff. And then you'll notice that the bubbles have gotten bigger. Now that's actually the carbon dioxide, which of course you want to remove because you'll turn your wine bottle into a hand grenade. I'm not sure if it's happened to you. It hasn't fortunately happened to me, but if you don't take the carbon dioxide, it's possible that you'll hear pop pop sound in your wine cellar as your wine bottles explode or at least blow the corks off. So what I'm going to do next is show you how this all works. So again, it's a 2-day process. Day 1, you're going to pump it 12 to 20 times, and you're going to make sure that you get the bubbles. And it's quite amazing. Even after you think you've degassed your wine, this wine here has been sitting since November, and it's now February. I thought there was no bubbles in it until I tried this test for myself, and it was quite amazing how much gas still existed. I even used this method on this wine several times, and I still get quite a bit of gas out of it. So we'll use this as a good example of how to do it. So first day you do it, you get the sulfur dioxide gases out of there. Second day you'll do it and get the carbon dioxide out of it. Pull the tabs, and then you're on your way. The nice thing about this is you'll note that with the spoon and physics method you'll only get the momentary degassing, but with this method, since you're doing it over 2 days, you're basically creating a vacuum over those 2 days, which is constantly going to be pulling the gas out, and then you're going to expel it using the top. So Very ingenious way of doing it, very cool. It definitely works, and I'll show you in a moment this in action. So here we are. I put the assembly, as I showed you before, the stopper with the bung on top, as well as the pump. Now, I can only do this with one hand, but basically you do the 12 to 20 pumps and you'll be amazed how much gas you get. So if you give me a moment, I will pump it up and then show you the gas. Alright, so I've given this wine, actually I've changed it so it's closer to 40 pumps, and that's mainly because I have already done this several times, but you can clearly see all the bubbles rushing to the top, which is pretty amazing even after sitting for several months, as well as already doing this method, like I said, several times. So this is something that you can certainly try over and over and over again until you basically get your wine flat or to whichever consistency you want. Now, why do you degas? Apart from making sure your bottles don't explode, you also want to do it for taste. Some people find that if you have a bit of carbon dioxide in your wine, it does alter the taste a bit. I guess the argument for that is just like taking ginger ale, and it tastes one way when it's got the carbon dioxide in it, and then if you let it sit over at night and open, you'll obviously have a different taste. So anyways, there you go. You can see that lots of carbon dioxide is still coming up. You can see the size of the bubbles. They're larger, so that's the carbon dioxide. Now, one thing you want to make sure you do is you want to reduce the level of your wine. If your wine is up here, you definitely want to bring it down here. That gives you a nice space in the neck of the carboy to be able to do this. Because remember, right now what I've done is created a vacuum in this space, and it's what's actually sucking all the air and gases that are dissolved in your wine out. And also, if you do it too much, you might find that your foam is maybe a little bit larger, so you want certainly a space for that to go. So anyways, after the 2 days, what you just do is you just pull up on the tab and you'll hear a nice psst, which is the gas. Here we go. Oops. So there you go. You can hear the gas that came out, and there's still some gas there. Now once you've done this, certainly feel free to put your airlock back on, and more gas can expel certainly as well. So anyways, an ingenious way to degas your wine that I thought was kind of neat, and I wanted to make sure I shared it with you as well. So I hope you enjoy it. Would be interested to hear your comments of what you think if you tried it, if you think it makes a difference, how well it has worked. Incidentally, if you haven't signed up for my free online 5-part e-course on winemaking, please do it at allwinemaking.com, as well as I have an ebook, Delicious Winemaking Made Easy, that you should consider buying as well, for those of you who haven't made wine before and would like to do so. So, thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoy the demonstration. Happy winemaking, and enjoy. Bye for now.